And now we move to the next fireside chat for the day. We have with Miss Lucy Smith, Director, MIPTV and MIPCOM RX France, and Anil Banwari, Founder, CEO and IndianTelevision.com. We welcome you, Miss Lucy, and over to you, sir.
Hi, Lucy, can you switch on your video? Lovely to see you. Which part of the world are you in right now? Can you unmute yourself? Rule number 1.
I'm in. Video's on.
Yeah,
and I'm unmuted. Hello, lovely to see you. Thank you. Thanks a lot for inviting me today. I know it's
part
great.
of the world are you in? Right now, which
Can
part
you hear
of the
me
world?
okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Which part of the world are you in
I
right
can.
now? In Cannes.
I am in the, I'm actually in the south of France. I'm actually not very far from Cannes, which is obviously where our wonderful MIPCOM and MIP Junior will be taking place this October. So yeah, down in the south of France. And where are you today?
Today I'm in Mumbai. So, it's been wonderful, partnering with you all as a channel partner for the past 15 years. But the last 2 years have been quite challenging as far as, meeting people and doing syndication of content, licensing of content is concerned. So how has the industry pivoted in this specific area?
I think, sure. I think what we've been hearing from, from our clients is that the industry has learned how to work differently. The industry has been using a lot of the online tools in order to still connect with their clients. And I think that they've done a great job with it. What they're telling us though is that despite the fact that, yeah, people have never consumed as much content. So we know that, the industry is very healthy in that respect. But they desperately want to get back to, meeting face to face, and the not having had in-person events for the past 18 months has been a real problem. But we've been hearing that, the content industry as a whole has, it's changed dramatically, and everything that was happening before with all of the platforms, the studios launching platforms, just with the global pandemic and everyone being, met for a lot of the time stuck inside, people have just consumed more and more content. So I think that, the original content production sector has never been more vibrant. And I'm sure I'd be really interested to hear what's been going on in your territories as well. But it's, I think the industry's been doing well, but from my perspective as running, the world's biggest entertainment content market, they just want to get back to in-person contacts and getting to talk to people directly.
Yeah. So, but why is content licensing so important? Licensing content important to a producer, to a creator, to a writer? Why should it be so important to him? What's the reason? Because, for them, it doesn't matter to the creators really, because the IP has to be with the creator, with the producer, with the writer. In most countries, apart from Europe and America, the IP rests with the broadcaster. So what do you think is the reason that content licensing is important?
Well, I think that, for any creator, the idea of being able to have their content viewed by a maximum number of audience, I think is absolutely key. And I think what we've all been seeing over the past, and it's been a few years, but it's just accelerated more and more, is the power of local productions with great local talent that people hadn't really seen before. They're finding global audiences by, in many cases, it's using it can be the global deals on a big streaming platform, but it's also opening up the perspectives, I think, even for linear broadcasters around the world. Everybody now is looking for content wherever it can come from. They are now seeing that they can get global audiences. And I think that has never been more important than when we do look at the platforms like Netflix. When you look at, no one wanted to see, French content. No one was looking very much at many types of content. And now you've got, global hits happening on platforms like Netflix. And I do think that for creators and producers, they're able to get obviously, more revenues because they can sell their content, but they're also just being able to, spread their stories out to the world. And I think that this sort of globalization of the content industry is something that is absolutely powerful. I think we've all had enough of seeing the same kind of content for a long, long time, sort of a certain domination from very much of the kind of Anglo-Saxon marketplace. So now seeing that spread out into the global market, I think it gives a lot of power to producers to, to spread their word and share their talent. So I think it's a great development for the industry.
Yeah. So where do the markets that you look after, MIPTV, MIPCOM, MIP Cancun, the overall MIP umbrella, where do you all come in, and what role do you all play? What
role do we play? Well, let's just sort of, if we focus on the two major markets, which are MIPCOM in October and MIPTV in April. So MIPCOM takes place in Cannes in this October coming. It brings together the global distribution markets. All of the big distributors are coming to sell their content. It's bringing together buyers from across the world who are looking either to do local, regional licensing deals or big global deals. Producers are coming because there's a lot of co-production funding conversations that happen. In a good year, in a normal year, a MIPCOM would bring together 13,500 people from 100 plus countries. MIPTV, its sister market in April, is slightly smaller than that. It would bring together closer to 9,000, but there's a seasonal aspect to the business as well. October is the kind of the better in terms of the sales cycle, which is why there are more attendees. I think this year, obviously, it's going to be a different marketplace because the global pandemic, as we all know, it's going to be very much dependent on what is happening in terms of travel restrictions, vaccination rollout. I mean, we all know what we're living, what we're going through. Our priority, we think this will be the first international TV market for many people. We know it's still complicated for many territories to travel, but our priority is really to help people to get back to an in-person business environment for the first time. So we've introduced a lot of flexibility to try and help companies find the best way for them to come back to the show and to come back to Cannes. We think it's absolutely vital to do everything we can. It won't be the huge MIPCOM. We don't know exactly where it'll land yet, but the idea of getting back to actually meeting people, that the serendipity of getting people back together, because we can all have Zoom conversations, and I think we've all had enough of seeing just non-stop Zoom meetings all the time. It's just not the same. There needs to be this feeling of bringing the industry together. It's a moment when it's a kind of, you take stock and kind of take the temperature and get the feel for what's happening. And those moments are absolutely vital. So yeah, we're really excited to be preparing right now MIPCOM with MIP Junior in October.
Fantastic. We all are looking forward to it. MIPTV is the older sibling. It's been going around for 50 plus years, if I'm correct. And so coming back to MIPCOM again, these two tentpole events for the entertainment industry really help in also bringing thought leadership ideas across to the global marketplace from different regions. So are we planning a similar kind of thought leadership conversations with leaders like Reed Hastings, Ted Sarandos, and the people who are driving the market, and people from Hulu, people from Amazon Prime, and the folks from Lionsgate, the folks from all the big studios?
I mean, we absolutely are, working on bringing together the best kind of conference program that we can, so that we can bring some of those leadership conversations to the show. I mean, what we really focus on is making sure that MIPCOM is it's really a global showcase of the best new content from around the world. It's the time to come and learn about what's going on, get the market intelligence. We work with a lot of the research companies as well to really give people the opportunity to understand and learn what's been happening around the world and to discover what new content is happening. So we'll have content showcases from different territories. We'll have market screenings where companies, market leaders, like, I'm not sure Lionsgate has one yet, but for example, or 3 Media, or Vita Film, or APC. So lots of companies are bringing their fresh new shows. We've got a big world premiere, with Cannes Series, which just as a little aside, Cannes Series is the International Series Festival, is taking place alongside MIPCOM this year. It usually takes place along with MIPTV, and it will be back next to MIPTV next April, but due to the pandemic, it moved to October, and there will be a selection of the 10 new the selected new series from around the world. And there's a world premiere with Fédération, which is a French distributor, and it's a global co-production. It's the Global Alliance of European Public Service Broadcasters. And it's the 8 days around the world of Jules Verne, which is a very famous and beautiful story. And I think that, you know, the need to bring the new content and have these premieres that are shared with the audience are absolutely key. But to go back to what you're asking about the market leaders, there is a whole keynote, our mastermind keynote series that we will be putting on. We're still in the process of confirming many of those names because it is a little bit early and it's complicated due to you know, the situation we're in. I mean, for the moment, we've got, for example, the CEO of Channel 4, Alex Mayon, who's an amazing example of women, a woman in leadership, who has been doing an absolutely incredible job leading her company throughout these last difficult times. And we're working on, with all of these new global media giants, you know, the big streamers, and getting a whole series of conversations with to talk about the streaming strategies in the new global market. I mean, it's a new kind of dynamic that we're all dealing with today. So yeah, absolutely, that's a big priority for us to get these market leaders to tell us what is happening in the industry today.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, you know, lack of surety amongst, especially India, though France has actually allowed the Indian vaccine, Covishield. They've accepted and they're allowing Indians to travel to France without any quarantine. But there's still a lack of clarity about, you know, what's going to happen. So, you know, as far as you all are concerned, what assuredness are you offering to people who want to exhibit? We've got quite a contingent of Indians who are interested. The SCPC wants to put up a pavilion, which will help Indian smaller producers, smaller distributors to be a part of it. ESC is wanting to put up a pavilion, but, you know, they want some assuredness. So as far as, you know, MIPCOM is concerned, as far as READ is concerned, or RX Global, as we call it now, is concerned, what kind of, you know, confidence then can you put into them so that they start traveling?
Okay. Well, I mean, first of all, I guess what's very important is there's a lot of, I mean, there's a very important number of safety protocols in place in Cannes. So we are working with both RX, which is the name of our big group, which is the biggest exhibition organizer in the world. There's a lot of learning experiences. We're working with the local authorities in Cannes and in France. The situation for MIPCOM will be that anybody who comes to MIPCOM will need what they call a sanitary pass. Now, this means that everybody will have to either have the double vaccination or will have had a negative PCR test within the last 48 hours in order to attend the show. Now, those are the rules in place today. Obviously, by, you know, in October, maybe they're tighter or slightly less, which I doubt somehow, but that will be the rule for people to come into the show. There'll be obviously all of the, you know, accentuated hygiene and mask wearing indoors. We've optimized some of the exhibition spaces to make it more accessible for clients. I guess to go back to your point about what are we doing for exhibitors, we have moved everything out of the -1 level of the Palais. For those who know the Palais, there's a very large sort of basement area. We've decided not to use that. We've moved everything up into the upper levels of the Palais, which means that there's lots more airy spaces where it's much more fresh air. You can open up everything, which we think is important. It also makes it an optimized exhibition floor. We're allowing, if companies want to, if they had already invested, for example, and decided in what they were going to do back in January, they can adjust that. They can take the size of stand they think they need now, ready for October. We adjusted the level of investment. We're trying to help people with the design and the decoration of their stand so they can make their decisions as late as possible. We, of course, have COVID-related cancellation clauses, so that if somebody wanted to attend, but the situation changed and they could no longer, due to their country or France's travel rules, they could no longer attend or they had to quarantine, they could then cancel. And that would be as of September. So I think we're putting everything into place to make it so that this MIPCOM is allowing everybody who's able to come to Cannes and who wants to come to Cannes, they can make those decisions. We will support them in every way we can to make it happen and to make it easy and smooth and less risk. You know, our goal is, we're investing in this because we believe that we need to get back to the market, and we believe that's our role to do so. But we're doing it as a way to support the industry. We understand for some companies, they're slightly, you know, they're concerned as to making a big investment now because then they might, you know, have a problem later. So we're putting everything into place to make those decisions easier, so that as of September, hopefully, you know, you can see that you're ready to be able to, you know, make that decision to come to Cannes, and you know, we'll help with decoration and everything. So I think everything we can do, we're doing. Obviously, no one's got the crystal ball and we can't all predict the future. Let's just all really hope that it continues. The main thing is that we are following every day is all of the vaccination rollout everywhere. Fantastic news that the Indian vaccination is being accepted as well in, for France, which means that there's now probably 5 or 6 different vaccines that are being accepted. So the more we can get people to travel and to come to Cannes, the happier we'll all be. So I hope you will be there with us again this year.
But I'd like to ask you a couple of questions more. How well are you looking, you know, how well will it be attended? How many, normally it's 13,000 people. Are we looking at 8,000 this year? Are we looking at lesser? Are we going to see global? What do you foresee? I've lost. I mean,
you know, I've been asked that. Yeah, I've been asked that question quite a lot, and it's just impossible to give a number. It's too early, just because the changes, you know, we've seen recently the UK, they're all coming, and then suddenly, you know, Boris Johnson changed the rules overnight. I mean, this is going to happen right up until the end. So our belief is we just keep those doors open so as many people as possible can continue to register. Even if a company doesn't want to take a stand, their delegates can still come, and we're working with them. We do have 150 exhibitors signed up who, along with several hundred buyers and producers signed up. We believe with that, we already have a market that gives a lot of, you know, a vibrant marketplace, and it can only grow. But I don't know what the final number is going to be.
Okay, I'm going to ask you, I know you have a hard stop, but I'm going to ask you about what are you doing about people who can't attend, and what are you doing for professionals who want to be with MIPCOM throughout the year? This would be my last question.
Okay, yeah. All right. So for participants who cannot attend, we have built our own online platform. So this is built as a digital extension to MIPCOM. It's not meant to be a virtual marketplace. What it will allow, and it's for people whether they are coming to Cannes or not able to come to Cannes. If you're not coming to Cannes, you can register online. You have a pass, and you can. It's being built very much as a networking, discovery, and a marketing extension. The goal is that companies who wish to attend, first of all, they can network with everyone. So whether you're coming to Cannes or you're not coming to Cannes, you can all network with a very, very smart, quick messaging tool, similar to the LinkedIn messaging type of tool. It's very easy. You keep the history. You've got a very good filtering system to look up who you need to meet with. And the very important part of it that we believe is going to be of great use, and this is the same that will then become part of this online community all year, is that companies will be able to put their content online, whether they want to put, you know, 3 pieces of content or 50 pieces of content. But we have then built a very strong analytics tool, so you'll be able to receive your lead generation data in real time. You'll have your own dashboard. You'll be able to see exactly who's been looking at your content and then be able to follow up with them. So that will, for MIPCOM, people can use it as of now. It's now open. So to prepare the market, start networking, start uploading content. The videos will become live on September 6th. And at that point, buyers will be doing a whole animation schedule to push buyers onto the platform to look at content on a regular basis, ready for the market. It will stay online just until the end of November. Part of the conference program will be available on catch up. Part of it will be live stream. We're still deciding exactly which parts will go live, which will be in catch up. And then as of the end of the year, that's when we really go into the online community all year round, which is going to be called One MIP. And that is going to be an online tool. So that will give access to all of our markets, their digital format. People will be able to change the different content they have on the platform and continue this whole following their content, lead generation, access to their lead generation, and obviously networking with all of the participants. So that's going to be our online tool all year round as of the end of this year. So we're very excited about that launch. And this MIPCOM allows us to really, trial it. We're testing different ways of pushing the buyers onto the platform, and we're very confident that it'll be a very useful tool for the industry.
It's really great to hear how Readers or RX Global is reinventing and reimagining how syndication and licensing deals are going to happen. Congratulations, Lucy. You brought a breath of fresh air into the organization and into the way people will do business. Thank you very much for your time. I will not delay you anymore since I've already gone over time by 2 minutes. Thank you and look forward to seeing you in.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see you in Cannes. Thank you so much for inviting me and good luck to you all. It looks like an amazing conference. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.